pride that comes with doing it yourself, and Peerless makes it easy. So go ahead, let everyone know. I installed my own faucet this weekend. I installed a Peerless, the do-it-for-yourself faucet.
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. Available at the Home Depot.
Get ready for some high-speed, non-stop action.
Join host Jeff Gordon for TNN Salute the Motorsports.
It's gonna be a winner.
You'll have a front row seat for critical points races in Winston Cup, Busch Grand National, and NHRA drag racing.
Plus, there's great racing specials featuring the fast and the famous.
You'll see profiles of racing's pioneers and rock as country music celebrates the 50 years of NASCAR.
TNN Salute the Motorsports all this week.
In the Top Fuel stretch run, the key to the Winston crown lies in the tuning skill of the crew chiefs. And this talented trio knows that for the next 3 races, there are no throwaways. Every run counts. Every bit in the parts bin and every bite on the hard drive could decide the title. Alan Johnson guided Gary Scelzi to the '97 championship. Jim Prock calls the shots for Joe Amato's quest for his 6th crown. And Mike Green coordinates the Corey Mack attack. Each knows this is not a job for the weak of heart.
I think about it when I wake up in the morning. I think about it in the shower. I think about it when I go to bed. I think about it a lot.
Joe's not going to race a whole lot longer, and if we could get him another championship before he retires, I mean, that'd be great.
I think it's the team. We got a really strong team, and all the guys keep them focused on just doing our jobs and taking it one run at a time, and that kind of helps alleviate the pressure a little bit.
Welcome back, everybody. Great crowd on hand at the Revelle Nationals, the Texas Motorplex, just outside of Dallas, Texas. One of the more enjoyable weekends that we have had in quite some time for Top Fuel Racing. Let's take a look at that ladder going into round 2. Scelzi, Hill, Amato, all former Winston champs or currents. Corey Max finished number 2 3 times. On the B side, you're going to get Doug Herbert and Mike Dunn. The Red Hot Mopar car, Dixon and Doug Coletta, trying to advance into the Final 4. We would open up round number 2. There is Doug Herbert, who went down to Shreveport yesterday, won an IHRA National Championship event, wheeled back here, stayed into the field, and he would get Mike Dunn here in this great round number 2 matchup. Spectacular onboard shot with Team Mopar. Mike Dunn, the winner at 460. They got to figure they are due to win one, maybe past due.
In the heat of the day, that's a great run for this Team Mopar Top Fueler. Hats off to the crew. I mean, Ken Vinny and Brett Anderson did a great job. You know, it's kind of greasy out there. We wanted to get down the track. We're actually a little conservative down low, but it hiked the front end up and gave her a little courtesy tug on the brake just to make sure, and still run a 460. We'll be fine.
You can tell he's warming up with the perspiration on his brow.
A little courtesy tug. Here is Team Winston, Gary Scelzi. They ran that 452 in qualifying. They ran 322 a week ago in Topeka. There's Alan Johnson, the crew chief. With his brother Blaine, they were dominant in the alcohol category. They have not missed a beat with Gary Scelzi behind the wheel and fuel. 1993 Winston champ Eddie Hill in the near lane. Good race for a while. Scelzi 457. He would advance to the all-important semifinals.
Gary may have struggled first round, not this round. 457 at 320, baby.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, this is killing me, Steve. I tell you what, this championship deal, it's tough every round, and Eddie is way overdue to, you know, to win a race and definitely to win some rounds. Team Winston's going around. Alan looks like he might have a handle on it. Let's just keep our fingers crossed.
Still to come, Corey Mack and Amato.
If Alan Johnson's got a handle on it, they might as well write that check out right now. Larry Dixon, Don Prudhomme. The Miller Lite MBN 18 machine, Doug Coletta, the sparkling rookie from Kitty Hawk, American International, and Team Coletta. Dixon, another great 450 in qualifying. And another 450 in eliminations. 456, 309 miles an hour. The Miller Lite car is looking good. Here's the biggie. Corey Mack, the McDonald's team. They need to pick up the win. They could just about bury Joe Amato with a win right here. Mike Green has done a spectacular job, and so has Jimmy Prock. Prock, captain of the Tenneco Automotive blue car. A car length at the top end. Amato, the winner at 465. Corey out of here at 469. Joe.
Corey Mack just walked over and said, Joe, nice job. Go get him next round. And he's serious.
Well, it's World Championship NHR Winston style. Doesn't get any better than this. It was a tough race. We had to do our job, and Jimmy Prock gave me a good hot rod, and all we can do is hope now maybe we can get lucky and put Selzy out and get some momentum here and try and make a championship chase out of it.
To do that, they may need a better hot rod yet. Boy, you hate to lose, but at least you were on the losing end of a great drag race.
Yeah, it really was. Good race, and Joe and his guys are really good, and Jimmy Prock, couldn't be more proud of him, but we really needed that one. That's going to hurt.
These folks have been treated to, I think, the best single weekend of racing on the tour for 1998, and they're absolutely looking forward to the Selzy Amato Battle of the Titans in the semi. Selzy gets lane choice. On the flip side, let's not forget Mike Dunn and that 560 scooter of Larry Dixon. Steve Evans sat down with both Joe Amato and Gary Selzy in the pit area. This should be fun.
Joe Amato has come a calling in the Gary Selzy trailer. Number 1 in points, number 3 in points, meet in the very next round. He's mad at you. You took away his world record. He liked having that.
I know, and I enjoy it too. The Amato record, we're going to call it the Alan Johnson record from now on. I know Snoopy's upset with me, so I'm going to do a little adjusting on him and see if I can't get him in a better mood.
What do you think about this guy?
Well, I think, before that round, they were rooting for me to beat the number 2 in their championship chase, and I did that. I think they should give me this round to make it fun and fair to go to the next race and have fun with it.
You got a gimme in you?
No, I love him, but I'm going to buy him a steak dinner instead.
And this is a kind of musical Snoopy.
Yeah, this is a Snoopy theme song, so I put them looking at their clutch and their tires, so maybe it'll help out. It worked against Bernstein once, so maybe it'll help here. We'll see how lucky Snoopy is.
What we have here is Snoopy against Goofy.
I like that. Steve Evans, absolutely the best. Hey, don't forget, we're going to go down to the next race on the tour just south of here, the Matco Tools Super Nationals. Coming up right here on TNN. It'll be on November 1st, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on TNN Salute to Motorsports.
Our former TNN colleague, Brock Yates, describes Fuel Funny Cars as Formula Harry. Unlike a dragster, you don't finesse a funny car. You take control, never let it feel your fear, and boss it 1,320 feet.
Synthetic motor oil. Even at 475 degrees, nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
Marty's here. Okay, let's see a fuel injector for a Ford Probe.
Multiport?
It's too easy. How about a gasket for a Yugo?
With sealer?
EGR valve for 74 Gremlin. See you tomorrow, Marty.
Now, get 4 of our 35,000-mile tires, only $99, or double your mileage. With 4 70,000-mile tires, just $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
It's the ultimate demolition derby, as only the best compete in the intergalactic Crunch-Off Tube. See it on TNN Motor Madness, Friday night at 8 Eastern. A part of TNN Salute to Motorsports.
You're about to experience a revolution in television. Introducing Cox Digital TV. Digital television without the dish. Enjoy a whole new universe of programming, all with digital quality picture and sound. And discover revolutionary control over your TV like never before. Cox Communications has now put the revolution within your reach with Cox Digital TV. It's digital television without the dish.
To get high performance, you need high-performance parts. Bunner Engine Development is your speed shop. Bunner Engine carries the names and the quality you know. Mr. Gasket, Moroso, Dart, and Throwback, just to name a few. And if Bunner Engine doesn't have it, he can get it fast. And remember, Bunner also builds custom engines with the same high-performance parts he sells. Bunner Engine Development is your speed shop.
Another little did you know, Roland Leon, crew chief now, of course, with Ron Capps. Jim White ran 290 miles an hour here at that race. Lost to Al Hoffman in the finals. It was Al's first win. The same race where a guy named Maurice Dupont beat Joe Amato in round one at Top Fuel and kept Joe Amato from clinching the Top Fuel title right here at this race. Wow, would history repeat itself? Would somebody clinch? Somebody be kept from clinching? We'll find out. Right now, we turn our attention to funny cars, crew chiefs, and Laura Bird.
They've all been here before. Each knows the tension of a title chase, the pit of the stomach stress brought on by the search for speed. Theirs is a world of counterweight and preload and pneumatic triggers. Computer tracings are their language and time is their religion. Austin Coyle is the legend, a wizard with a wrench, forces foil, and 9 times a kingmaker. On the other side stands Roland Leong, a mechanical mastermind, the fabled Hawaiian, Ron Capps' confidant and compadre. Their drivers get the glory, but these two provide the tools.
We have an awful good team, an awful good driver. We seem to do, better than most everyone else, and we're kind of used to it. So, we don't, feel any great sense of joy when we do good. We feel we're supposed to do good. We do feel severe pain when we don't, and it's been a very trying season for us, but it ain't over yet.
As long as I've been racing, I feel that I won a lot of national events at different times throughout my career. And the one thing that eluded me was the World Championship. So being so close, yet not having it yet, it's pretty awesome.
It will be a great stretch drive. Look at this. Force and Al Hoffman. I'd pay to see that when Capps takes on the kid from SoCal. That's Del Worsham and the Checkers, Shucks, Craig, and Carr. Cruz trying to sneak in and spoil everybody's day. Dean Scoozes won already. Etchells and Bazemore meet up in a good one. Let's take a look back, and we'll start off with that Etchells-Bazemore matchup. Team Winston, they will get some more help from Chevrolet next year, but they're still looking to sign another big-name sponsor. The Kendall folks agree up with Chuck Etchells, along with Mama Rosa and Super Winch, and it's a battle of Chevrolets here in Texas in round 2 of Funny Car. Whit Bazemore gets very close to the center line, got the win at 492, couple of rounds in a row. Whit almost crossed the line. Steve?
Second round in a row with flirting with disaster, dancing near that center line.
Yeah, well, close is okay as long as we don't hit it. But I tell you, this Winston Camaro, it's an animal. I mean, it's got the front end up at half track, and of course, when the front end's up, it's okay if it's going straight, but if it isn't, we're in trouble. Went over to the right, I corrected it, maybe overcorrected it, but came back across. Had the wheel like this at the finish line, and it's just pushing, but I thought we escaped it. I don't know what they ran, but they're a good team. We're lucky.
You're not a bad team either, Whit. Del Worsham, back in the early 90s, he was a Rookie of the Year. It's hard to believe he's still only in his 20s. Taking on Ron Capps and the Copenhagen team, another Chevrolet right here. Copenhagen, Capps, Leong, Prudhomme. Would prove to be too much for Del Worsham. 5:07. Ron Capps gets the win, but it wasn't awe-inspiring.
Ron, your successes this year have come on less than perfect racetracks. This place is a challenge for you.
Yeah, it sure is. But, we're all racing the same track. With rolling around, Look what he's done. He did it to Topeka at 2 in the morning. We won this race here in May without lane choice in the final against Force. Hana Ho. It's Hawaiian for do it again, and that's what we're trying to do right now.
How do you spell Hana Ho? Cruz Pedregon, the Interstate Batteries machine. West Cerny, the boys trying to stop. Maple Grove winner Dean Scusa, the onboard shot in that Mopar Dodge Avenger. Cruz Pedregon pops and bangs. Scusa gets the win at 5:02, and the Matco Tools car goes into the semifinals here in the Big D. Al Hoffman slated to match up with John Force in one of the best matchups you're going to see on the NHRA Winston Drag Racing Trail. Al's car could not fire. Goes over, little words of encouragement to John, says, hey, take that other lane.
We got behind a little bit, and we went to start the motor, and it wouldn't turn over. There was something wrong in a valve train somewhere, and took it apart and fixed that, and then we went to turn it over, and it was a bolt in the blower, and something's not right. We just can't take a chance on it.
What are you going to do, Al? Are you going to pull out and let him have this lane if that's his preference?
Well, I don't think it's going to make much difference. Both lanes are pretty good, but, you know, it's just a shame because we had a chance of really going out there and doing something. I felt like we could win this race, and the car was running good, and, you know, we're on to something now, but we got 2 left. We'll do the best we can.
Couple of final rounds in a row for Al, a winner, runner-up. All he could do is sit and watch his arch rival and nemesis, John Force, make a single run. And what a single run it would be. 484 at a brilliant 321 miles an hour. Wow.
No way you wanted that to be a single run. No way.
No, and I didn't. And, I said early, and he was broke, and Hoffman come over and told me, but, the real confusion that really aggravates me is Hoffman come over, shook my hand and said, take that lane and go for it, gave me the lane, we moved over, and then people started screaming that we couldn't and nobody could make a call. They put us back. So, that's aggravating, but this old go keep working.
Now he's going to get the other half of his wish, Ron Capps next round.
Just shy of backing up that record. He doesn't officially have it yet, nor does he have the 50,000. In the semis, Force against Ron Capps. It doesn't get any easier for the champ. And the B-side, pardon the expression, Bazemore with lane choice over Dean Scusa. Dean Scusa's had a great year. He's over in the pit area, and so is Laura Bird.
The Scusa team has accomplished something other teams can't say they've done. They've beat John Force 3 times this year. And, Dean, you're not a contender in the Winston points battle for the championship, but you win rounds. You've gone to the semifinals several times. You're just quietly doing your thing behind the scenes.
Yeah, I guess it might surprise a lot of people that we're coming on so strong, but I think the only people that aren't surprised is us, really, because we've had it in us the whole time. It's just a learning curve, It's not easy.
And now you could be a spoiler in the semifinals.
Well, I hate to think of myself like that. Let's just hope we win it, and we'll go celebrate in Dallas.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Good old race team, and the folks here just about selling out as souvenirs. Chuck Etchells and his Camaro, great racer, great businessman. Wonder what he wanted to be when he was, well, their age.
Baseball player. I've always followed baseball closely, rooted for the Boston Red Sox, obviously. Collected all the trading cards, which my great mom saved for me, and I didn't realize it, in a burlap bag. So I've got about $20,000 worth of baseball cards. Now I love baseball more than ever.
Hole 9 of the Cooper Tire Invitational, a short par 3,000 teeing off from D.C. There's water to the right and a very tough pin placement deep in Maine. Quick recap. Our leader, nice layup. Then a great 4-iron here in Manhattan, and this tough shot over the giant green monster. Bill?
Thanks, Jim. Let's listen in.
Nice call on these Cooper tires. Good grip.
Back to you, Jim.
A quick peek to the back 9. Hole 10 starts off in Belgium.
The world is your course. Drive on.
Team Mopar. Parts for Pro Stock and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Team Mopar. Parts for top fuel dragsters and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
TNN's exclusive coverage of the 13th Annual Revell Nationals is brought to you by Mopar, Chrysler Corporation Parts, and the Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, Jeep, and Eagle dealers who sell and install them.
Welcome back to the Texas Motorplex, the home of the Revell Nationals. Don't forget tomorrow on TNN Salute to Motorsports, join Neil McCoy and Tracy Bird. They salute 50 years of NASCAR. A great night of racing and rocking tomorrow night at 10 Eastern right here on TNN's Salute to Motorsports. Let's go take a look at some of that pro stock action as they were getting set to line up for round number 2. Warren Johnson still coming out of that number 1 spot. He had advanced into the second round where he would match up with the Jersey boy, Tom Martino. Coughlin and Kurt might settle something for the number 2 spot right there. It's the Ford against the Dodge as Alan Johnson and Robert Patrick would meet. Stevens and Jim Yates in a great matchup. Let's go take a look at some of that round 2 action. The aforementioned Robert Patrick on the far side with the Ford. Alan Johnson, the Team Amoco Dodge Avenger in the near lane. Been a long while since we've seen this car on race day. Or this car. Johnson first out of the gate, but by a car length. Hey, Ford fans, Robert Patrick, 7:03, gone to the semifinals here in Dallas.
The only Ford privateer pro stock car in drag racing goes to the semifinals. Congratulations, Robert.
I tell you what, it's been a tough 2 years over here. I just want to thank my mom and dad, and want to thank him for hanging in here with this deal because we've had very, very limited backing from Ford, and we're just trying to do this for all the Ford fans, and we're Ford dealers, and we want to try to keep this Ford over here racing.
You listening, Detroit?
The AC Delco Chevrolet. That is Kurt Johnson. He's got Jake Coughlin out of the Jake's mail order shop in the far lane. 5 points separate him in the battle for the number 2 slot. This is a biggie right here. Wow. Kurt Johnson fouls out. Jay Coughlin gets the win at 6.99. A big round. Not the biggest of the year, but certainly very big for Jay Coughlin.
Jake, Kurt pulled the trigger a little too quick, or he might have covered your 6.99.
Yeah, you know, we're running awful good out here. We just had a little mishap first round, and Kurt, without a doubt, knew we were going to be tough, and I think I hit the tree pretty good, so he'd have had his hands full.
That'll help him for points to stay in second place.
In the interest of fair reporting, Kurt ran a 6.97. In the interest of fair reporting, it's also academic. There's the kid, Richie Stevens, gunning for Rookie of the Year honors. That's the Sean Collins team. Here's Jim Yates. Hasn't won since Pomona earlier this season. The champ against the kid. The kid out first. The champ gets there first. 6.95, edges out of 6.99. Jim Yates to the semis against the Ford car.
For sure, this track is not getting any better. That was pretty darn impressive at 95.
95, that's pretty good. I think he made a better run that lap. Really felt like it was a little soft on clutch, but, you know, we knew Richie's going to be tough. Really proud of the Split Fire Peak team. I tell you, they've done a great job. Bob Ingles and everybody over there, Rich Purdy. I'm proud of them.
And you should be. That is a good old race car and a good old race team. Warren Johnson and Tom Martino as they come to the starting line right now. WJ looking for another sweep, trying to win it from the pole. That's the Jessel Valve Train car. Former Bob Benza entry in the far lane. Martino out first. Warren no slouch. Warren too much race car at the stripe. He gets the win at 6.93 and goes to the semifinals at 200 miles an hour.
Jim Yates thought his 6.95 was pretty good until he saw your 93 at 200.
Well, it was a little bit better run than we made the first time. We were a little too soft, and this time I think we got a little too aggressive. It spun pretty hard on the starting line.
Nice work.
More 200-mile-an-hour runs for Warren than the rest of the pro stock class combined. Semis, WJ against Jake. Hey, beat my kid, will you? I'll show you. We'll see who shows who. In the other semis, how about Jim Yates against Robert Patrick and the Ford car? Larry Morgan drives the Rebestis Chevrolet. Wonder if he always wanted to be a pro stock racer.
I think I'd like to have been a NASCAR driver, but I'm not sure my physique. I could have handle the endurance of driving for 500 miles at 200 mile an hour. I don't think I can handle that the way I'm built.
Is your car still running bad? Well, don't get mad. Get Motor Up, the no oil change engine treatment for a smoother, quieter, and cooler running car. Over 3 million people have already added Motor Up to their automobiles, and now you can too with our special 30-day free trial offer. Just call the number on your screen and tell the operator that you want to try Motor Up before you buy it. This is a unique opportunity for anyone who's never tried Motor Up to try it now risk-free. It's so easy. Just add 1 bottle to your car's engine, and you'll see, feel, and hear a difference almost immediately.
See, the whole car doesn't shake. It usually shakes really hard.
I mean, just physically looking at the motor, it had a little shake to it, and then it smoothed right out. Almost instant. It's definitely a difference.
Add just 1 bottle of Motor Up, and your car will run smoother.
You can visibly see this part just shaking all over the place. After I added the Motor Up, this doesn't shake at all. Look at it, and it sounds great.
Well, I just added Motor Up, and the car is definitely running quieter and smoother, too. It's definitely running smoother.
Just 1 bottle, and your car will run quieter and cooler.
Runs a little bit quieter now, and it started a little bit easier, a little faster on the start.
The RPMs declined, and the machine got quieter, and it seems to have more pickup when we hit the accelerator.
Without a doubt, it's definitely running cooler. I'm looking at the temperature gauge. It's lower and lower. I'm definitely impressed. I'll tell you that.
No hesitation. It started right up. It drives like a brand new car.
Use Motor Up, and you'll get the same amazing results. And because you don't have to change your oil to add Motor Up, you'll save time and money. Before you spend more on costly repairs, call this number now. Put Motor Up to the test and see for yourself. This incredible 30-day free trial offer won't last long, so call now.
How tough has the Pro Stock war been here at the Revell Nationals? Consider this. 9 drivers ran in the 6-second zone and did not qualify. The 16-car field is made up of 5 different manufacturers.
Let's take a look at the semifinals in Pro Stock here at the Revell Nationals at the Texas Motorplex. Great matchups, too. Warren Johnson against Jag. Robert Patrick against Jim Yates. The Purvis, Ford, Lincoln, Mercury entry. Robert Patrick went to the finals here in 1995. Last final win for a Ford, Bob Glidden, Englishtown, in 1995 when that Ford beat Jim Yates. Not today. Jim Yates in the split fire car goes to the finals looking for his first win since Pomona, as hard as that may be to believe. And we would find out if he would match up with WJ or Jay Coughlin. Warren again, pretty quick out of the gate. Too much race car at the top, and it's a classic. WJ Yates in the finals in Pro Stock. Steve?
Well, Bob, the last time that WJ faced Jim Yates in a final round was clear back in March in Gainesville, Florida at the Gator Nationals. He not only beat Yates, he took away the national record that Yates had set earlier in that weekend, cost him $50,000. You went out here Friday night a little reluctant to reset that record.
Well, I really didn't want to reset the record because we already had the championship sewed up, and we didn't need the 20 Winston points for the record. Let's save it for next year. But then again, if we didn't set it down, then it's probably available for somebody else to set next year. You know, those things are awful hard to get to run consistently fast, and being able to set the record, I guess, when you got the opportunity to do it, might as well.
Well, Laura Bird, over here, they think they have what it takes to take the measure of Jim Yates.
Well, Steve, the words arch nemesis come to mind because Jim Yates hasn't forgotten losing back-to-back in the final round to Warren. And, Jim, if anybody can take Warren out, we know it's you.
You know, I think he's beat us enough this year. You know, Rich Purdy and Bob Ingles and the whole crew have got the split fire Pontiac running real good. I think we're up to give that guy a battle here in the final.
So there you go, Steve. Get ready for a battle.
As good a matchup as we have right now in Pro Stock competition. Warren Johnson, Jim Yates, WJ, pitching a shutout so far here in 1998. Don't think that Jim Yates doesn't know that. Don't forget, coming up tonight, there's a great lineup of exciting hunting and fishing shows on TNN. It all starts after the Revell Nationals with Buckmaster at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TNN Outdoors. Warren Johnson in the finals. Kurt Johnson's not. I got a feeling Kurt Johnson always knew he would be a pro stock racer.
We had a good friend up in Minnesota. His name was Larry Joel. He was an ophthalmologist up there, and we'd go out on the lake, stop offshore, get something to eat, big steak. Had the kind of house, kind of lifestyle I think I might enjoy it.
Marty's here. Okay, let's see a fuel injector for a Ford Probe.
Multiport?
It's too easy. How about a gasket for a Yugo?
With sealer?
EGR valve for 74 Gremlin. See you tomorrow, Marty.
Now, get 4 of our 35,000-mile tires, only $99, or double your mileage. With 4 70,000-mile tires, just $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Every day, people all over America dial 10-10-321 to save money. And they save a lot. 50% on all their calls over 20 minutes. All day, every day. And from now until November 12th, dialing 10-10-321 not only can save you 50%, every call will also automatically enter you for a chance to win the $10,000 daily prize. 10-10-321. 50% savings every day. And every day, a $10,000 winner.
Next Sunday on TNN Salute to Motorsports, the pretenders have now been separated from the contenders. Only a few drivers have a shot at the NHRA Winston Championship. The pressure builds as teams look to shave off 1,000th of a second that could give them the title. From Houston Raceway Park, it's the Matco Tools Super Nationals. Next Sunday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. A part of TNN's Salute to Motorsports.
Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by this special offer from Diamond D.
And they walked away 5. The most intense racing action on asphalt, dirt, and water. It's nonstop excitement to thrill the entire family. And they walked away 5 puts you in the driver's seat for the high-speed thrills of NHRA, monster trucks, NASCAR, boats, and more. Call 1-800-507-1800 now, and you'll receive Top Fuel Sensations absolutely free. Experience the exciting sights, sounds, and smells of America's fastest sport. Over 2 hours of exciting racing action for only $19.95. Call 1-800-507-1800 now.
Welcome back, everybody. We're getting set for final round action here in just a bit on the Revell Nationals at Dallas, Texas. A couple of other semis to settle up. Hey, remember this week on TNN Salute to Motorsports, join host Jeff Gordon for all kinds of motorsports specials, profiles on racing's pioneers, and rock as country music celebrates 50 years of NASCAR. Plus, you'll see critical points races in Winston Cup, Busch Grand National, and NHRA. TNN Salute to Motorsports coming up all this week. Let's go back and take a look at the final 4 here in Fuel Funny Car. Dean Scusa and Whit Bazemore. The Dodge from Matco in the far lane. The Chevrolet from Team Winston in the near side. Bazemore's got problems. For the first time this weekend, they could not have come at a more inopportune moment as Dean Scusa gets the win and goes to his second final in the last 4 races. Would he meet up with John Force or Ron Capps? A monster matchup. This is a 40-point swing in the run for the title. John Force wins it at 4.90, 319 miles an hour. Let's catch up with Ron Capps.
Well, Ron, I guess we can file that under missed opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but, hey, you want to beat a champ, you got to beat the champ. And we've been fighting problems all weekend long. It is not over. We're going to Houston. We're going to Pomona. He's only, even if he wins a race, he gains a little bit more. But, hey, look what happened at Topeka. We turned things around there, and we'll be fine.
It'll be a good stretch drive. Let's catch up now with Steve and the guy that just took out Ron Capps.
Well, Bob, a potential problem in the John Force pits. They started the motor, as they always do, to warm it up. Some strange vapors, as they described it, coming out of a couple of cylinders. So the spark plugs are coming out. They're going to do a leak down test. Hopefully they don't have to take it back apart at John. But, John, they'll get that fixed. But going up against Guzzi, you also want to back up that record for 20 points and 50 grand.
Well, that's what we can make a move here on Capps right now. And a lot of money there, but we got to try to win this round. We know they can step up and run, and we're excited there was a problem, but Coyle looks okay, so okay.
They'll get it. Don't worry about it. We hope they do. Laura? How you doing on your end?
Well, Steve, contrary to your end, it's very calm here. In fact, Scusa's people are polishing his car with window cleaner. This young man tried to tell me earlier he was on a learning curve, but what a learning curve. You've already beat John Force in the final round at the Pioneer Keystone Nationals. Now, tell me, Dean, how you feel going into this.
I feel real good. I mean, we dropped cylinders twice here. If we can run on all 8, I think we could take out John. But, I mean, I like racing John, win or lose, like I've said before, because he's the best, and it's the way you really can measure yourself as a driver, as a whole team out here, is going up against the best.
And speaking of the best, Bob, he's beat Al Hoffman. He's beat everybody, all the old guys, Whit Bazemore, everybody who's anybody here has been beat by Dean Scusa.
You know, I like the same thing that we heard from Caps and Scusa. You want to be the man, you got to beat the man, and he will line up against the man in the finals. Look at this. Not too many guys can say they have an edge on John Force in the 1998 season, but Dean Scusa can. The kid in the Matco Tools car who won at the Matco Tools race last year in Houston, where we will be next week on TNN, trying to punch out Force for the 2nd time in a row in a final round right here on TNN Motorsports. Don't go away. More coming up from Texas.
There's a lot more to working in AutoZone than looking up parts or ringing up sales. And it has to do with taking pride in taking care of customers. Like testing an old part before selling a new one. Or simply having what they need when they need it. In other words, it's about taking care of people who take care of cars. And that's what we do best at AutoZone.
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. Available at the Home Depot.
Tuesday, it's a night of stars, guitars, and cars, and a revved up and rockin' combination of motorsports and music. NASCAR, 50 years on the fast track with Brooks and Dunn. Tuesday at 10 Eastern on TNN.
You've waited long enough.
Darn gone and dirty.
She's going on the road. Now it happens live at Hampton Coliseum. One night, November 24th.
Kick it.
Shania Twain, live. Presented by Gitano Jeanswear and Cellar Door. The full production.
I'm out of here.
All the hits.
You're still the one I want.
Plus special guest, Lady.
Cool.
But don't wait. Tickets for the concert are already on sale. Shania Twain, presented by Gitano Jeanswear.
Last weekend, Virginians bought furniture in a way they never could before. They got 15 to 40% off the Haynes warehouse price, and they don't have to pay Haynes a thing for the next full year. But come Monday at 9 p.m., it's over. Monday's the last day to get this offer this year, and we don't know when we'll ever do it again at these prices. Big extra discounts off the Haynes warehouse price. Then no money down, no interest, no payments for the next full year on top of that. But it all ends Monday at 9 p.m. Haynes.
Welcome back. The folks looking on here at the beautiful Texas Motorplex, the track that Billy Meyer built, the first real big super track. Texas Nitro Nuts. I believe that's the fans and not a food. But hey, the crowd goes wild. You gotta love it. Top Fuel semifinals right here. Let's take a look. It's Selzy, it's Amato, Dunn and Dixon all coming up as we get set to match up right here in the semis. The Tenneco Automotive Top Fuel team, Joe Amato needs to win this round. He wouldn't. Gary Selzy with a sparkling 455, another 320 miles an hour. And Joe, that's gotta hurt.
Joe, you guys had no chance but to load it up. You knew he was going to run that kind of number.
Yeah, Steve, you're right. You know, they've been running, they had the edge because they were running 50s and we were running 60 flats and high 50s. And we had to take a chance in racing. This is no time to be a coward when you get right that close to the Winston Championship where you're going to, you know, maybe give a run at it. But we'll have to just try and see what happens for the next couple weeks and try and win some races. And looks like we're stuck in third. Maybe we can get around Corey.
No one's ever called Joe Amato a coward.
You might as well go out swinging. Here is Dale Armstrong and the Miller Lite team. Got that neat little road racing scoop on top there. They got Mike Dunn looking to win one. For Darrell Gwynn and Team Mopar, yes himself, 4:59. Great run, Team Mopar in the finals. Let's go to the pits and Laura Bird.
And, Bob, it just might be D-Day here in the Mopar pit because, Mike, 3 consecutive final round losses to Gary Scelzi. 2 years without a win. A weekend where you've struggled and come back.
Well, I'll tell you, it's tough. You know, we've got 3 final rounds, but I'll tell you, this Team Mopar, I mean, we got running pretty good. You know, we're a little hard on parts that last run, but, you know, I'll tell you, this Mopar's running pretty good, and they're going to step up. You know, Scelzi's running awfully good, 4:55. We're going to need to run a little bit better, but Ken, Vinny, and the crew, I know they can do it. We're going to try and step her up a little bit for the final and see what happens. Hopefully it ain't a tire smoker and it's a good side-by-side race. That's what I'm hoping for.
So there you go, Bob. A good side-by-side race, and boy, if anybody can show it to us, it's Mike Dunn, like he has so many times so far this season. So Darrell's over here giving him a big wink, and Steve, everybody here has their fingers crossed.
Yeah, they better. A clean car is a quick car, and Gary Scelzi desperately fighting to keep that #1 for yet another season. But you got to wonder how long Mike Dunn is going to be your punching bag.
Boy, I don't know. You know, Mike and Vinny, those guys are tough over there, and they're way, way overdue. Jim Allen's been doing a great job, and the car's been running extremely well. So Team Winston's hope we can give it to him one more time.
You're starting to breathe a little easier in this whole championship thing?
You know, Steve, I thought I would, but I'll tell you what, I'm a mess. All weekend. This championship, like I said, it's just killing me. And, you know, my father-in-law is home in Kerman right now. I hope it's cold because he's got like 3 jackets on. We're all superstitious, and he's trying to do something different to keep us winning.
You're always a mess, Bob Fry.
Oh, my. We're going to take a look at that final round here in just a little bit. Scelzi with a 4-2 lead. Of course, he won 3 of them in finals, an unprecedented back-to-back fashion. We are seeing great racing. This is why NHRA Winston Drag Racing is so great. Well, if a clean car is a fast car, there are no fast cars in Hazard County. Hey, if you'd like a daily help and a race and romance and Roscoe P. Coltrane, don't miss the Dukes of Hazzard. Weekdays at 5 Eastern right here on America's Country Home, TNN. We're going to take a look at our final rounds, all coming up from the Revell Nationals next on TNN Motorsports.
I'm looking for somebody who knows their parts. That'll work.
For expert advice, go to the pros.
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. Available at the Home Depot.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks? Oh, yeah? Meet Waylon Jennings, Jerry Reed, Mel Tillis, and Bobby Bear, together for the first time performing new songs by Shel Silverstein. Atlantic Records presents The Old Dog.
Can't do it like I done it before. I doesn't do it no more. I ain't too old to cut the mustard, just too tight to spread it around.
These songs are guaranteed to bring the house down. If you're into good times and great songs, the Old Dogs deliver plenty of both on 2 CDs or 2 cassettes.
All these guys are just full of energy. It's just great. I love it. It's fun.
You'll be whooping and hollering at this foot-stomping Old Dogs collection.
Old man trying to do a young man job. Nashville is rough on the
This set is not sold in stores.
She really speaks well of the dead. You still
Get Old Dogs on 2 CDs for $24.95 or 2 cassettes for $19.95. Remember, this 2-volume set is not sold in stores, so don't wait another minute and order now. To order the Old Dogs, use your credit card and call the number on your screen or send check or money order for $19.95 for 2 cassettes or $24.95 for 2 CDs plus shipping and handling. Rush delivery available. Remember, this special collection is not sold in stores. Order now.
TNN's exclusive coverage of the 13th Annual Revell Nationals is brought to you by the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
All right, sports fans, we got the finals coming up from the aforementioned Revell Nationals Texas Motorplex just outside of the Big D. There's the Big Y. Jim Yates, the split fire machine, hasn't won since Pomona. And he's taking on WJ, who is wrapped up the championship and just adding to his points total right here.
Warren Johnson would race Jim Yates for no money and no points. Apparently Friday night after Yates had run, he went over to Warren. He said, you know, if you can't set the record, reset it under these conditions, you're a no racing son of a gun. Warren hadn't planned to set the record. He juiced it up, went out there and slammed it. He wants Yates right now. He just wants him for personal reasons, Bob.
Jim Yates won this race in 1996 when he beat Kurt Johnson in the finals. Jim Yates won this race last year when he beat Warren Johnson in the finals. Let's see if he can pick up the win right here. Warren Johnson looking for his 72nd national event win, second only to Bob Glidden, who's out there with 85. The finals in pro stock from the Revell Nationals at the Motorplex. We started with 5 brands of cars. As we mentioned early in the show, it's come down to 2 hot rod Pontiacs. Jim Yates got out of the gate first, then he got sideways almost at half track, and Warren Johnson at 695, 199 miles an hour, gets the win. The arithmetic for Yates, 796, 128. That is the worst reaction time Warren's had in a couple of races, but it didn't make any difference. 400ths in the bank for the two-time Winston champ on the far lane. He was right with him till about half track, and then watch this. Right near the center line, and this baby is history. Warren Johnson's 9th win on the year. And I guarantee you, Warren will tell you, we've won 9. That means we've lost 11 this year. That's the way the professor goes at it. Look at Yates. Almost from the time he dropped the hammer, he was out of the groove and almost out of the lane. Great win for Warren Johnson. Steve?
Miss Winston, Jackie Beck with another gold man for Warren, and that was just for personal pleasure right there.
Well, no, it's just about winning races. I don't take anything out on anybody. I'm just trying to win races. It doesn't get personal with me.
695, not a bad parting shot.
Well, the track is going away. It's getting a little tricky out there. I'm sure Jim had about the same problems I had. It was sliding around out there, and it's just who decided to stay in it the longest.
Okay. Thanks, Warren Johnson. He's the Revell Nationals champion. Got the hardware to prove it, Bob.
71 wins, 114 finals. Warren, you the man. Little handshake there from Jim Yates. We got the funny cars sitting down there under the bridge, but Warren's just going to run away and hide. The battle still for that 2 and 3 spot. We got 2 races to go. Can Jaggy hold off KJ? Jim Yates in the 4 and Mark Osborne in the number 5 position. The funny car final, it's going to be Dean Scoos of the Matco Tools Machine, John Force in the Castrol Championship car in the other lane. That's coming up next on TNN Motorsports.
Hey, Joe, got any words on performance for the folks at home?
Yeah, I got a few words of advice for all those weekend warriors and the pros that do it hard all week. Champion Spark Plugs. Champion makes dependable plugs to fit all your needs, like Truck Plug, built for sport utilities, trucks, and vans. And Easy Start, made for all that lawn and garden equipment. I use Champion in all my engines, and you should too.
Before you get a life, get a grip. Vice Grip, original locking pliers. The only tool you need.
Stay tuned to receive your free trial version of America's #1 accounting software for small business.
Okay, folks, here's your business cards, letterhead, and my invoice.
How did you create this invoice?
With QuickBooks accounting software, I called the toll-free number and got a free trial version.
Wish I had time to learn new software.
It takes no time. Answer a few simple questions and QuickBooks tailors itself to your business automatically. And if you can write a check, you can use QuickBooks. QuickBooks makes it easy to see who owes you money and how much you owe. It also does invoicing, payroll, and inventory. Plus, you get customizable reports and graphs that puts you in control of your business.
To try QuickBooks free, call 1-888-703-0600 for your free trial version. Or if you also need time tracking, estimating, and project costing, then try QuickBooks Pro. Either trial is yours free for calling 1-888-703-0600. That's 1-888-703-0600.
Next Sunday on TNN Salute to Motorsports, the Pretenders have now been separated from the Contenders. Only a few drivers have a shot at the NHRA Winston Championship. The pressure builds as teams look to shave off a thousandth of a second that could give them the title. From Houston Raceway Park, it's the Matco Tools Super Nationals. Next Sunday at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. A part of TNN's Salute to Motorsports.
It's Funny Car, final time from the Revell Nationals here at the Texas Motorplex. We are just outside of Dallas in a gorgeous day. The fans have been treated to 4 days of classic NHRA Winston drag racing. Austin Coyle and the Brain Trust, the gold car, the car that won Indy. The 320-mile-an-hour car that won Englishtown. John Force trying to put some more distance between himself and Ron Capps. Now, Laura, if you can see your way to see the racetrack through all that smoke from the burnouts, tell us what this final round looks like from your vantage point.
Well, there's sharp contrast between the Force camp and the Scusa camp. Force obviously had problems earlier. They were rattled. They took extra time buttoning everything down before they rolled into the staging lanes, which led all of us to believe there was something really wrong. But they're being very cautious. Scusa, on the other hand, is set up, he says, to run a 90, which is all he's going to do, run his own race. If John makes a mistake and they get him, great, but they're here with the goal of doing that and doing that only. Ironically enough, though, that 490 is what Force ran in the semifinals, so there may be something you're not telling us, Bob.
Well, in a perfect John Force world, he'll beat Dean Scusa, and he'll take $50,000 from NBNA with a 4.834 or better. But I really wonder, when I left that pit, that crew was panicked. Did they get it fixed? Did they go to the line with a big question mark? We're about to find out.
Dean Scusa, the Matco Tools. Team Mopar Dodge Avenger, a great onboard shot. You want to see what the engine looks like? Ronnie Swearingen, the crew chief on the left. Dad, Don Scusa, out in front of the race car. Runner-up at Columbus. Runner-up at Brainerd. Won Maple Grove when he beat John Force in the finals with a 5:03 to Force's game effort of 5:11. Look at the crowd on hand here at the Motorplex as they get set to watch the 2 Fuel finals. First, the funny cars. With Dean Scusa, you saw the gold car out in front. John Force runs 4:86 to get the win. 320 miles an hour. Dean Scusa, a great effort. 491 for Scusa, 311 miles an hour, and the crowd goes wild. Well, at least the Castrol guys go wild. Little high fives, couple of low fives. They'll be counting fives, 10s, 20s, and 100s too before very long. John Force might be on a roll and might be unbeatable from this point on. Look at Scusa. just like Bazemore in the qualifying run on Friday when you run a 491, and all you can do is sit, watch, and admire. Watch this on board. There's John, couple of car lengths to the good. We have the winner at the end of the racetrack.
Yeah, we do. John Forrest just out of the car, smiling, shaking hands with the people from Revell. Great job, champ. But you left 50 grand on the table.
A lot of competition here, yeah. My Revell guys in action. Left 50 grand on the table, but I tell you what, I tried to shallow stage it. I got a little nervous against the kid because I know what he can do, and I know John Howell from Castle told me, get out here and win a race, get your points back, and went after him, did it. Shook a little bit, trembled down through there, but, well, boy, make everybody happy. Makes us happy. Man, you ain't even believe it.
I could believe it. I saw it. Mike DeLilly from Revell get in there, shake the champ's hand. And remember, that Houston track is very good next weekend. He might get the record in 50 grand there, Bob.
Very good. He ran 484 there earlier this season. Did not back up the record. That's the 50 grand Steve was talking about. So John Forrest out in front, starting to pull away. You get 20 points per round. You do the math. It's going to be awfully tough for Ron Capps to track down the champ right now. We got the finals in Top Fuel. Team Winston, Gary Scelzi, Team Mopar, and Mike Dunn. They've gone at it 3 times before in the finals. Another one coming up next.
Team Mopar. Parts for Pro Stock and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar. Team Mopar. Parts for Top Fuel dragsters and your vehicle. Get real. Get Mopar.
Rogaine Extra Strength works for 4 out of 5 men.
What do you mean works?
Regrows hair, or at least stops hair loss.
With my luck, I'll be that 5th guy.
Probably not. But here's our guarantee. Give Rogaine Extra Strength an honest chance. You be the judge. It stops hair loss, or regrows hair, more hair, thicker hair, faster, or we give your money back. Guaranteed. Rogaine Extra Strength works for you, or your money back.
I can't lose.
You know when you're traveling, you look for things you know. Things that are familiar, that make you feel comfortable. Things that make you feel at home. That's why it's always so good to see the Howard Johnson sign. And with Howard Johnson Super Miles, you can earn free hotel stays, Avis car rentals, and airline mileage vouchers toward travel on Continental, TWA, and American Airlines. And the more you stay, the greater your rewards.
Howard Johnson makes you feel at home.
Husky, the toughest name in tools. Guaranteed forever. Available at the Home Depot.
Still going. I've had marriages that didn't last this long.
The night comes alive in Texas when the torches of nitromethane light up the fastest track in the West with a firelight hot enough for a real Southern barbecue. And cooking the competition is the only way to serve up a Winston championship. The Top Fuel final is coming up next.
It's not quite nighttime, but these boys are going to burn a load of nitro in these things. You just might see the flames coming out of Team Winston. Alan Johnson, there is the team of Mopar machine. Darrell Gwynn, the owner. Jerry Gwynn, Ken Vini, a very talented crew. 3 times Scelzi's beaten them in the finals. They want to take out Team Winston right here.
There's a lot of fans in the stands. There's a lot of racers that have a soft spot in their heart right now for Mike Dunn, Darrell Gwynn at home in Florida, looking on, hoping that their streak of runner-up finishes comes to an end right here. It's tough being runner-up. Not only the disappointment, but you make far less purse money than the winner does, and they have been runner-up to Gary Scelzi, as we talked, 3 different times. Does their luck change right now? Laura Bird?
Well, Steve, it is tough being runner-up, but you know what? Alan Johnson says they've changed nothing on Gary's cars since the last round because they're smooth. They think the odds are in favor of Mike simply because he has been a runner-up so many times. And the Mopar people are not talking to anybody. They are intensely focused on their work right now. Darrell tells me he, too, thinks
It was not to be for Mike Dunn. Gary Scelzi, for the 4th time this year, beats Mike in the finals 465 at 300 miles an hour. Dunn smoked the tires at 858, and all is well in the Team Winston camp. A 100 feet down the racetrack, Team Mopar smokes the tires. 1,320 feet down the racetrack, Team Winston gets the win. Great weekend for Team Winston, and the crowd, well, you got it. Down to the far end of the racetrack, we got to have a happy winner with Steve Evans.
Scelzi a little late getting his helmet off because he had to do a cartwheel for us down here. I didn't know you were a gymnast. Great job. What a weekend. You cleaned the table.
You know what? This is a dream weekend. How often do you qualify #1, set the national record, win the race?
Not often.
Not often. Never for me. This is a lifetime dream. Alan Johnson, Team Winston, Man Synergen Oil, and GK Mac Tools. These people, they just keep giving and giving and giving, and it's about time we start giving something back.
Great job, Gary Scelzi. Mike Lilly with the trophy. Jackie Beck. All in all, what a weekend, Roberto Fry.
Oh, my God.
The points battle starting to take shape right now. Gary Scelzi drawing away 73 out in front. That's 3+ rounds, and Scelzi leads Corey. Joe hanging on for dear life. Dunn and Kenny Bernstein round out your top 5. CO, we'd like to congratulate Gary Scelzi, our Mopar high performer, and John Force. Scelzi did everything, but John Force, by the way, snuck away with top speed of the meet. Second time this year that he's done it. Don't forget, on TNN Motorsports, we go right down to the wire in the points chases. Next race, the Matco Tools Super Nationals, November 1st, 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on TNN's Salute to Motorsports. Sensational weekend of drag racing, the best in a long time. All the records fell, and the points leaders starting to separate themselves from the packs. Congratulations to everybody. ExperienceCountry.com, your personal source for all things country, from race cars to Country Stars Connect to Country.com. For Laura, for Steve Evans, I'm Bob Fry. Thanks for being with us. See you in Houston.
Nobody loves cars more than I do. Each one is a work of art. So when the maker of all these chose a new antifreeze, it got my attention.
General Motors now uses the deck school technology of Haviland Extended Life Antifreeze in virtually all its new vehicles. The same patented formula you can use in your car for 5 years or 150,000 miles. So do what GM did. Switch to Haviland.
I use it in my car. I only wish this were it.
I feel a presence. Harold, is that you?
What if you could save hundreds of dollars a month? What if you could cut your monthly payments in half? What if you could borrow up to 50% more than traditional home equity loans? And you don't even need equity. It's all possible. And it's all at First Plus.
At First Plus, you get more ways to help you lower your monthly payments. Call 1-800-510-PLUS.
Marty's here. Let's see a fuel injector for a Ford Pro. A starter for a Saab.
See you tomorrow, Marty.
Now get Pro Start batteries from $39.99.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
There's a certain amount of pride that comes with doing it yourself, and Peerless makes it easy. So go ahead, let everyone know. I installed my own faucet this weekend. I installed a Peerless, the do-it-for-yourself faucet.
Welcome back, everybody, to Phoenix International Raceway, where although the rain has slackened, it has not stopped. And the Duralube Kmart 500 has been called an official race. And Rusty Wallace is today's winner. Rusty started 6th and dominated throughout the course of the day. Victory Lane is being held under cover in the garage area. So let's go to the Money Store Winner's Circle interview. The Money Store, where America goes for money. Here's Steve Burns.
Rusty Wallace, congratulations. I know it's been a long, dry spell, but you guys have worked awfully hard.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This car was really bad fast today. The motor was excellent in it. And the pit crew, what can I say, 16 50-second pit stops. I mean, it's really fast, but you know, I've won a lot of races in dominant fashion, but I don't know if I've ever had a car that was this fast. This thing was just, you know, when you look in the mirror, you don't see anybody behind you. That's pretty quick, but I wanted to win it, but I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since I've won, and I'll take it in the rain, no problem.
Rusty, if we had stayed under dry conditions, would you have won this race?
Oh, I really think so. You know, you never know what can go wrong. Something could go wrong, but just based on the way the car ran all day long, I felt like I had it won. And so we won it. It's a brand new car. This was PR22. We just named it today. We named it Streaker because it kept the streak alive of 13 straight years. So it feels good.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Victory number 48 for Rusty Wallace.
That ties him for 10th place on the all-time win list with Herb Thomas. Rusty Wallace back in victory lane, keeping his streak alive. And there you see the full field rundown. Too bad for old Ted Musgrave, huh, fellas?
Pits second spot, came out of the pits in 5th, and that's where it finished.
Yeah, he drove his heart out today and was running second. And then when they brought out the caution, he come in, just had a bad pit stop. But what a great day for him.
There you see some of the other finishing names. Ricky Craven, Rick Mass down there, 29th and 30th respectively. Bill Elliott, thought we'd see a whole lot better out of him the way the day started.
Yeah, he got all the way up to second place and then had some problems later on in the race and dropped back. But all in all, a good run for him.
And there you see the first out of the event, last place finisher today, Brett Bodine. Our congratulations to the entire pit crew for the Miller Lite team. Robin Pemberton and the fellas winning the Miller Pit Crew of the Race Award. Miller Lite reminding you to enjoy Miller Lite with friends. Now, how do the NASCAR Winston Cup points look? Very simply, all Jeff Gordon has to do is show up. Literally. If he shows up and starts last at both of the remaining races, regardless of what Mark Martin does, Gordon's got the championship.
Or somewhere along in the 20s there in Rockingham, and we'll be able to, go right in there and say he's the champ.
That's right. He could well mathematically wrap it up right here on TNN next weekend from the North Carolina Speedway in Rockingham. So it's been a very interesting day here today. A lot of activities taking place in our only visit each season to Phoenix International. But now we'll be heading back to the East Coast. We'll be at the Rock next weekend. The AC Delco 200 on Saturday for the NASCAR Busch Series. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Matt Kenseth in their ongoing battle for the championship. And 1 week from today, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the AC Delco 400 from the Rock. Hope you can join us in Rockingham or right here on TNN Motorsports. Well, fellas, it's been a good season. It's not over yet. It'll be very interesting to see how those other point battles shake down next week.
Yeah, not just the point battles, but there are a lot of guys that still need a win, still need their first top 5.
Here's how our day began shortly afternoon. Jeremy Mayfield found the wall at lap number 11. Lap number 43, Brett Bodine took that wild ride. Lap 54, Rusty Wallace flexed the muscles for the first time. Dale Jarrett was not feeling well today. Climbed from the car, was airlifted from the racetrack. The point battle was a good one today, and yes, technically it goes on to Rockingham next week. Our final caution came at lap 247 for Jerry Nadeau. That's going to do it from us here in Phoenix today. We invite you to stay tuned. More of the exclusive coverage of the Rebel Nationals in Dallas with NHRA action coming up next here on TNN Motorsports. For Buddy Baker, Dick Berggren, Glenn Jarrett, Steve Burns, Matt Yoakum, I'm Eli Gold saying so long from rainy Phoenix, and congratulations to that man, Rusty Wallace, winning on the NASCAR Winston Cup circuit. So long, everyone.
TNN, America's country home, is a service of CBS Cable.
Colonial Chevrolet's October all-out blowout sale. Over 250 used cars and trucks. Toyota Camrys, Honda Accords, sport utilities, vans, pickups, sports cars. All-out blowout price. Over 50 below $10,000. Over 200 new trucks. Rates as low as 0.9%. New S10 pickups, $87.98. New S-Blazers, just $17,988. New Silverado, ready for immediate delivery. Credit? No problem. 20 lenders, 30 million to lend. Shop here, buy here, pay here. October's all-out blowout sale. Colonial Chevrolet, where nobody walks away. From Virginia Beach Boulevard.
And welcome to TNN Outdoors. I'm Tracy Bird, and I'll be with you all evening as we learn from some of the top hunters in the country. Bill Jordan is one of our resident experts, and tonight he takes on the famous Perlitz Ranch for monster bucks. Of course, you might have heard of his hunting buddies, too. Comedian Jeff Foxworthy and Atlanta Brave Chipper Jones. Join Bill on Realtree Outdoors later tonight. But right now, let's get things started with the Buckmasters Whitetail Magazine.
This is TNN Outdoors.
Welcome to the world of Buckmasters. Now let's join your host, Jackie Bushman.
Hi, folks. Welcome to today's show. Got a great show for you today. Our first stop is going to be in Birmingham, Alabama for our second regional qualifier as far as the Buckmasters Top Bow Indoor Shooting Series. Then later, we're going to be joining my good friend Don Montgomery for some Texas whitetail hunting. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
The Buckmasters Whitetail Magazine with Jackie Bushman is brought to you by your local Yamaha dealer, who invites you to see their exciting line of motorcycles, ATVs, and snowmobiles. Budweiser, to good times and the great outdoors. This bud's for you. Bear Archery, makers of legendary Bear and Jennings bows. Wellington Outdoors, makers of America's #1 deer lure, Tink's number 69 doe and rut buck lure. Remington Country, where you'd rather be. Realtree Extra. If it looks real, it's Realtree. Liberty, makers of quality outdoor apparel since 1912. Federal Ammunition, for the shot of a lifetime. Nikon, binoculars and scopes for a better look at your world. API Outdoors, America's leader in tree stand technology. The Woods Wise Call Masters, a tradition of quality, a reputation for success. And Energizer, the official battery of Buckmasters.
Hunting, fishing, and the shooting sports have been an integral part of our character, our birthright. But we must never forget that we are not the owners of this country's wildlife and natural resources, merely its caretakers. You see, at Budweiser, we're making it our business to make the great outdoors an even greater place, today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. To good times and the great outdoors, this bud's for you.
You know, it's mighty dark out here while I'm setting up. So I only use new Energizer Advanced Formula batteries. Nothing outlasts new Energizer, so try them yourself. And you won't be left in the dark.
What was that? Mr. Bushman, sir. Remind our audience to enter the celebrity hunting sweepstakes at the local Walmart. Win a holiday for two to the Buckmasters Classic.
That's right. What are you doing here?
You forgot your lunch, sir.
Oh, gosh.
Energizer, designed to keep your high-tech stuff going and going.
When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Welcome to the Buckmasters Top Bow Indoor Shooting Series competition for the second of 2 regional qualifiers. 39 of the finest archers in the nation have made their way to the American Deer Hunters Exhibition in Birmingham, Alabama, to compete against the world's toughest and most exciting archery game, the Buckmasters Electronic 3Ds. The top 16 from this competition will advance to the Buckmasters Top Bow Indoor World Championship to be held in Montgomery, Alabama later in the year. The archers will shoot 4 shots from each of 3 different API tree stand locations. The range consists of various scenes containing whitetail deer targets. The distance to the targets is from 15 to 60 yards. The further the target, the more points it's worth. The competition is for bucks only. However, there are also doe targets that appear in some scenes. If the archer shoots at a doe, he will lose 10 points. After 2 days of competition, the field of shooters begins to narrow. Up to this point, the archers with the highest score in each of the previous rounds qualify for the Easton Red Dot Shoot with the opportunity to win $500. The closest shot wins. First shooter is Lynn Morrison of Northport, Alabama.
All right, here we go, folks, for $500.
All right. And the second shooter is Dan G. Bussey from Talladega, Alabama.
Oh, my gosh! I think he hit it. This is the first one I've ever seen drill the middle of the red dot. Mr. Dan C. Bussey wins $500 from Easton. Congratulations. Great shoot.
Of the 39 archers who started this event, only 4 remain.
Start.
Then in the semifinal round, Lynn Morrison of Northport, Alabama defeats last year's defending regional qualifier champion Dan C. Bussey from Talladega, Alabama. And Clyde Huckabee of Anniston, Alabama advances to the finals by narrowly defeating Dale Howington of Buford, Georgia in the semifinals. Now on to the finals as Lynn Morrison shoots first.